You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's see some more examples of shell scripting. Try to understand this. Okay. This is an example script to accept the username and check whether the user is existing or not. So if we look at this particular script, what is happening here? So we know echo, if we recollect, like echo command is used for printing this one, whatever the statement that we give in the double quotes. So it will just print this particular one. So that's the purpose we use echo. It is like a printing statement, like whatever the things we give here, it will print. Read read command is used to accept the input from the user. So from the terminal, it will ask to provide the value of a, so that we will provide the value, and that value will be stored here in the variable a. So read command to accept the input from the user or from the terminal. So after that, after accepting the input, like what is the condition we are checking? We are using if grep. Grep is used for searching, right? Grep is used for searching a word or a pattern. But if I'm using grep hyphen w, it is nothing but like we are searching for a particular word, exact word. So grep is mainly for searching for a word or pattern in the file. So what I'm doing is with this statement, what we are doing is we are searching the value of this one. Okay, suppose if I enter like something, if I give the name like Vamsi, so it will be checking like whether the file name Vamsi is present in this particular file called slash etc slash password. This is the file path we are giving. In this file path, this is the file path actually. This is the file, okay. In the slash is etc folder, we have a file called password. So this is the file path we are providing. So where it is going to search, it is going to search the file name in this file path. If the file is exist, or otherwise if the user is exist, you can search like assume that we are searching for a user. Okay, this particular file slash etc slash password consists of usually the usernames, all those things. I'll show you. So this particular file will consist of usernames and all. We are just checking whether the user is present here in this file or not. Okay, by using the grep hyphen w, you're searching that particular username in this particular file. If the user is exist, it will print yes, user is exist. If the user is not there, whatever the name you are searching for, if that name is not existing, it will print like user doesn't exist. This is just like very simple script. We are searching for a particular user in this file name, in this file slash etc slash password. Generally, in Linux environment, the slash etc slash password file consists of all the usernames. Okay, let me run this script. I'm going to save the script by uh, taking an example. I have a server running here. I'm just connecting to the server. Okay, I am saving the file. If you remember, like we are saving the shell script file. Okay, with the .sh extension, vi space script something. Okay, we can give some name, and we will give the extension as .sh. .sh is the extension of the file name. Vi space script 19.sh something. I'm going insert. So copying this one here. I'm copying this and pasting it here on the editor. Escape, shift colon, W. You can verify whether the script is correctly copied here. Yes, I did saved it. Now how to run the script? We know sh space script 19.sh. So it is asking for the username. When I'm searching for, when I'm giving the username as Vamsi, like it is saying that the user is not existing here. If you want to see If you want to see like what are the usernames, okay, what does this file consist of? etc/password consists of. We can give like cat space etc password. It is displaying all these names. Okay, I'm just giving like cat slash etc slash password. This is the file name I'm giving. And in this particular file, we have these usernames. You see, root is a user, root bin, daemon, adm, mail. So if you give any word, if you give any file name, any username from here, okay, it will say that is exist. Otherwise, it will return the user is not existing. I'm just giving one, it is not existing here in the list. Okay, let me try with a different name. I'm going to run the script once again. I'm going to run the script once again by using, I'm going to run the script once again by using sh space script.sh. Is asking for the username. And here from the list, okay, we have the list, right? From this list, I'm just giving something like TCP dump. Let me give like TCP dump. It says that, yes, user is existing. User existing, right? So this is how we actually, okay, this is the script, okay, which is used to search for the username from the list. We are just searching the username from this particular file /etc/password file. And if I give any name like FTP, if FTP is there, it will print that particular line and all. Okay, FTP user existing. Even you can see the output here. It is printing two lines. Okay, it is printing. Why? Because like we are using grep command, right? The behavior of this grep command is like it will print. If the pattern matches, it will print the whole line. If the pattern matches, if that particular pattern matches, it will print the whole line. Okay, that is the default behavior of the grep. Suppose you see the default behavior, the behavior of grep is to return the line, if it matches with a specific value. Oh, that's the reason why it is printing the whole line, right? So what we can do is like we can, if we want, we can redirect the result to a particular file. You see here, what in the next script, what I am doing is grep -w. I'm searching for a username from this file, and if it matches, I'm storing this output. Okay, greater than symbol. If you remember, we discussed about redirection operator. Greater than is an output redirection operator. So what we are doing is whatever the output that we get after searching this, okay, grep-w username, we are searching from this particular file, and we are going to save this into a file called this one. Okay, this is the directory path, and okay, this is the place where we are going to store. Okay, so we can redirect. What we are doing is we are redirecting the entire output to a particular file like this. So that if I search for the username, if I search for the username like FTP, it will just say FTP user exists. Why? Because we have just whatever the output that we are getting by using the grep command, right? We are redirecting that output to a file called this one. Finally, it will print only user exists. FTP. If I enter the username like FTP, it will say only FTP user exists. Nothing we are doing here. In the above script, what we are doing is, if I run the script, if I'm searching for the username like FTP, it is printing two lines. One line is like for the grep, okay? So for the grep, the behavior of the grep is like it will print the whole line if it matches a specific pattern. Okay, and then it is printing like, since it is matched, it is printing like user exists, FTP user exists. Now what we are doing, we don't want this line to be printed. That's the reason why we are redirecting this entire line to a file called to this particular path, so that it will not print here. It will just print only the FTP user exists. Okay, we can also do that. So let me go to the another one. And if you remember, like we discussed about this kind of syntaxes like if -or $a. Okay, what we are checking here with the help of if condition, we are checking -or $a, meaning if we are checking whether this file has a read access or not. This is the file. Okay, A is equal to abc.txt. Where this abc.txt is present, abc.txt is present here in this path. Home, EC2 user, and in a folder called today, this particular file is present. Okay. If this file is present here in this location, we are just trying to verify whether this file has read access. How we are testing it? With the help of or, -r. Okay. So -r $a. -r is used for checking whether the file has read access. If the file has read access, it will print as read access. -w. If -w, we are checking whether the file has write permissions or not. -x, it will check whether the file has execute permissions. Okay, it is just to make you aware, like we can check. Okay, we can check like this whether the file has read permissions, write permissions, execute permissions. Okay, -x stands for execute permissions. If you want to check whether the file has execute permissions, write permissions, or read permission, we can do like this. And we can also see, right? -f. What is this -f? If we want to check whether the file is an ordinary file or not, ordinary file meaning sometimes like you can say I just mentioned here. What is ordinary file? Ordinary file is a file which stores, it is like a normal text file, images, something like that. Okay, documents, images, something like that will be called as an ordinary file. So like other kind of files like directories, any other kind of files are there, right? That those will be called as those will be called as special files. Okay. So here we are just mentioning like if the file is an ordinary file or not. How we are checking it is with the help of -f. If it is a normal regular file, it will print the file is an ordinary file. If it is not an ordinary file, like if it is a directory or any other kind of file, then it will print like a special file. -f is used to check whether the file is a regular file or special file. Okay, if it is a file, if the file is a directory or not, we use -d. -d for checking whether the file is a directory or not. -s to check the file size. If the file size is not 0, okay, it is to check whether the file size is 0 or not 0. -s stands for size of the file. -e, we can check whether the file exists or not. If the file exists, it will print exist, otherwise doesn't exist. So all these are the conditional things, okay? All these are the conditional things. We're just verifying like whether the file has read permissions, whether the file is a regular file, okay? File size is 0 or not, whether the file exists or not. All these things we can validate by using this type of condition. You can practice, okay? All these are simple, like you can execute all these things. I will just share this document with you. You can just practice all these examples. And let me go ahead and discuss the other things. Okay. It is also a simple one to understand, like we are just writing a script here to accept the file and delete the given file. Okay. So echo anyhow, these statements you are aware of. It is just printing the file name to delete. Will accept the input from the user. Remove $a. Okay. If the file is deleted, okay, remove stands for RM stands for remove, right? It is if the file is removed, we are checking with the help of if condition. Okay, we can also write like this: if remove $a, if the file is deleted, it will print like file is deleted. Okay, what we are doing, we are just trying to check whether the file is deleted or not. So it accepts the file. It will take the file name. Read space a means it will accept the file name and it will store that file name in the variable a. So it will verify like whether the file name is removed or not. If the file is deleted, it will print file is deleted. Else file is not exist. Okay. So this is to accept the file and delete the given file. We can delete the given file by using this particular script. RM space $. Okay. And yes, you can say this is the script. Okay. This is the script. Like we are giving like it is like, right, case statements. Okay. It will print like something like, you can see the output here. Okay. When I run this script, it will print the menu like this. Whatever the case statements that I'm giving here, case dollar choice in, this is for what you can you can select any number from here. You see the first one. Okay. Echo, we are using like slash and slash t. This is for giving the spaces between the items. So if I want to print menu, and there should be like the today, this one, the very first item is today's date. If I want to see the today's date, I want to print the menu of this item like this. Second one is to delete a file, number of users connected to the server, current working directory, current connected user. So to print the menu like this, I'm using some slash and slash t. You can see here. To print the menu, I'm using all, you can see here, slash and today's date. After today's date, I'm using slash and. After second item, I'm using slash and. Slash and represents the new line. Slash and represents the new line. You can see after today date, it is printing in the next line, right? Delete a file. Today date, it is printing in the next line. Delete a file is printing in the next line. And number of users connected to the server is printing in the next line again. So for to print anything in the next line, we are using slash n. Everywhere you can observe. Today's date, I'm using slash n. Slash n means to print the next thing in the next line. Slash n. Everywhere we are using slash n. What about this one? In the beginning, we are using something like slash and menu, all these things, right? So to print the menu here, to print the menu, okay. So I want this to keep as a heading, okay. I want this menu to be as a heading. So that's the reason why I'm using some slash and new lines. I'm using these tabs and all, so that I'll be keeping the menu here. Okay, this particular syntax is to design the menu like this. And all these things will be printed in the second new lines. Today's date, deleted file, everything will be printed on the new lines. So what we will do is like, if it is printed like this, if the output is printed like this, we will be selecting the choice. Okay, if we will be selecting the choice, suppose it will ask like read the choice. You can enter the number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any number you can enter. If it takes the choice number, if your choice is 1, it will execute the first one. If your choice is 2, it will execute the second one. What is the script 18.h? Somewhere we might be having some script 18.h. So if the script 18.h is for deleting a file, yes, it will delete the file. You can give the file and it will delete the. And third one is number of connected users. If you want to display the number of connected users, we can use who command. We discussed about who, right? Who am I? Who? All these things. So we can display the number of connected users. Who am I will print you like what type of user you are. Who command will give you the number of users connected to the user. And with the help of cap symbol, we are using word count. We just wanted to see the word count of how many number of users that got connected to the server. The same server, how many number of users got connected. That's why we are using who cap command. WC stands for word count -L. Okay. So this is for printing the number of users. We'll execute all these things. You can execute all these things. Okay. So you will see the outputs like this. And finally, we are using this one, right? ESAC. What is this ESAC? ESAC keyword is mainly to signifies the end of the case block. Okay. So suppose if you are using the case block here, if you are writing the case statements like this case. So how it identifies that the end of the case statement is done? ESAC. Okay. We are starting with case here, right? And to identify that the case statements are ending, we are using this ESAC keyword. Hope you understood this one. Any questions here in understanding this one? Let's execute all these things also, but try to understand this one. We have like already we spent most of the time on the shell scripting. We will move to the further things by completing all these things. I'll share this file with you. You can practice. If you have any questions, you can approach. Okay then. So yes, ESAC keyword is mainly for representing the end of the case block. And we'll also understand like there are other commands like tput. There is a command called tput. What is this tput command? Tput command is to manipulate the terminal behavior and it will move the cursor around. Okay, tput command is used to manipulate the terminal behavior. For example, if I want to print the menu, okay, there are two things we are using. Okay, tput cup 1040. See here, tput tput command is used to manipulate the terminal behavior and it will move the cursor around. So we are just positioning, we are giving the position of the cursor here. Cup stands for what? Cursor positioning. CUP cup stands for cursor positioning. Tput command is to manipulate the terminal behavior. So in the terminal, we can move the cursor from top to bottom or left to right, right? So this cup, okay, this cup stands for cursor positioning, and the values 10 and 40 indicates that the row and column. The first value indicates the row, the second value indicates the column. So where the cursor should be placed. So 10, if it is 10, it moves the cursor to the 10th row. And if it is 40, column value is 40, it moves the cursor value to the 40th column. So you can take a terminal and you can understand like, just understand the cursor positioning of the terminal. So cup stands for cursor positioning. We are passing the values like 10 and 40. 1040 indicates that 10 value is indicating the row, 40 value indicating the column. If it is 10, it moves the cursor to the 10th row. If it is 40, we'll be moving the cursor to the 40th column. And you see the script here. What is this? If I want to print anything like, okay, so clear command is used to clear the screen. Tput cup 1040. So that the cursor positioning will be moving here. Okay. So 10th row, 40th column, there it is printing menu. Again, 11th row, 40th column, it is printing stars. Okay. So 14th row, first column, again it is printing today's date. 15th row, first column, it is printing delete a file. 16th row, first column, it is printing this one. So it is just to make sure like whether the cursor positioning is moving around it is to move the cursor around the terminal. Okay, we can also write like this. We can also use tput command and cup command for cursor positioning, all these things. Let's execute these things, okay, before let's see like we have another script that we have written here. I think we have a clear understanding on this cut command, why we use cut command. And if you remember, we also discussed about translate command. Okay, so this first statement, anyhow, you are very clear. Second one, read the variable. This is variable. Okay, it is accepting the month name. It is accepting the month name from the user. So the user enters the month name as January, but it will accept the month name like this. Echo, it will print the month name. Echo $month, it will print the month name. Okay, and what is this symbol we are using? Pipe symbol. Why we are using pipe symbol? Based on this input, based on this output, it is going to cut. Okay, whatever the month name user has entered. So in that particular month name, it is going to cut the characters 1, 2, 3. Even if the user has given some 5 to 6 letters. Consider user has provided the month name, complete month name. User has provided the complete month name. So what the cut command will do here? The cut command, cut -c, it is going to cut the characters only from 1, 2, 3. It will take only 1, 2, 3 characters. First 1, 2, 3 characters. And translate if they are in the uppercase. What is this tr command? If they are in the uppercase, it will translate the uppercase letters to lowercase. Translate uppercase letters to the lowercase. That's it. Okay. So it is going to, what it is going to do is, user enters the month name. It will accept the month name. It is going to print the month name. And from that month name, it is going to take only 1 to 3 characters. And if those characters are in the uppercase, it is going to translate the characters into lowercase. So that if the month name is John, okay, if the month name matches John, Feb or March, any of these three things, okay. If the month name matches John, Feb or March, it will print like you are in the first quarter. If the month names are within these three, it will print like second quarter. Okay, if the month names are from within these three, it will print like third quarter, like that. If a user enters a different one apart from these 12 months, it will print like not a valid one. Check again. Right? Case statement. We are starting with case, and we can end the case statement by using ESAC. Okay, to specify that the case statement is ended. The case statements were ended. Okay, then we also have some looping statements. Okay, we also have the looping statements in scripting. So we can see like there are three looping statements. Okay, we have while loop, for loop, until, the bash programming. Okay, we use this looping statement also. And there are two commands we use along with the loop statements to alter the flow of loop statements. Okay, to alter the flow of loop statements, we also use break and continue. Break and continue. So while using the loop statements, we'll also use these two things, these two statements to alter the flow of loop statements. What are the break and continue? So let's see some examples of these loop statements, how we are going to use in the, this is the syntax. This is the syntax. Anyhow, let's see some examples to understand. A is equal to 0. Hope you understood what we are doing here. We are just initializing the value of A as 0. I told you that there should not be any space. Second. Okay, so look at here, this example script and what we are doing here. The explanation of this one I have just given here. A is equal to 0. We are just initializing the value of variable to 0. Initializing the variable to 0. And I told you that there should not be any space. Okay, while assigning a value to the variable, make sure that there should not be any space between the value, variable and value. And the next thing is like we are using while loop here. While loop. Okay, so here it is checking the condition. When it will enter this loop, so if the condition is, if this condition is true, then only it will enters into this, it enters into the loop. Okay, so it will continue the loop as long as the a value is less than 10. What is this here? While loop. Okay, you look at this particular script. While loop. Okay, we are starting a while loop. What is this condition? It is checking the value of a is less than 10. If you remember, I told you -lt stands for what? Less than. We discussed about the operators. Operators can be written like this, like -lt, arithmetic operators can be written like this, -lt, -gt, less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, like this. So $a, the value of a, okay, here we are initializing the value of a is 0. If the value of a is 0, it will replace the value of a is 0 here. 0 is less than 10. The condition is true. The condition is true, it will enter into the loop. it will print the A value, and we are just using A is equal to, we are using an expression keyword here, expr keyword. What we are doing is expr $A plus 1. We are just incrementing A by 1 using the expr command. What is the meaning of this one? We are just incrementing A by 1 using the expr command. Nothing we are doing. We are just incrementing the A value. Okay, this is one method. Okay, this is one type where we can increase the value of A. With the help of expr keyword, we are just printing the value of A plus 1. This is how we are increasing the value of A by 1, incrementing the value of A by 1. Now the A value is what? Here $A means 0, 0 plus 1, 1. A value is 1 now. Okay. If the A value is 1, again, it will continue the loop. If the A value is 1, it will continue the loop. A value is 1. 1 is less than 10. Again, it will keep on increasing the values. Okay. Like that, the loop continues until the A value less than 10. Okay. So this is this particular script to understand how we are incrementing the A value by 1. We are doing it with the help of expr keyword. A is equal to expr $A plus 1. This is the expression that says we are just incrementing the value of A by 1. And we should also understand we use arithmetic operators like this. If the value of A is less than 10, LT stands for less than 10. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Here the same example, I is equal to 1, while loop. So $I, the value of I is 1, I less than 10. Anyhow, we know I less than 10. And we are printing the I value. Let I plus plus. What is this let? We need to understand let. The let command in Linux is let command in Linux is used for evaluating arithmetic expressions. Let command in Linux, it is also used for evaluating arithmetic expressions. So if I want to increase the I value, okay, the $I less than equal to LE stands for -LE stands for less than or equal to 10. Less than or equal to 10. So if the I value is less than or equal to 10, we are printing the I value, incrementing the I value. So let I plus plus, we can use the let command. So it is to know, to understand, let command is also used to evaluate the arithmetic expression. We did increase it like this. A is equal to expr. Expr keyword is used to increment. Let command. Let command is used to increase. Okay. So the I value will be increased to 1 and it will print all the values. So this is one place where we need to understand the let keyword. -LE stands for less than or equal to. And okay, you can see this one. How to display the values from 10 to 1. How to display the values from 10 to 1 using while loop. So you can see here I is equal to 10. $I, value of 10 is, the value of I is 10 now. 10 greater than 0. -ZT stands for greater than, right? If the value of I is greater than 0, then it will print the value of I. It will decrement the value. Let I minus minus. Just now I told you let keyword is used to, let command is used to evaluate. If I give let I minus minus, it is going to decrement the I value. It is going to decrement the I value. So like that, again, it will go the 9, it will print the 9 here, while 9 greater than 0. Again, it will print the value of 9. Again, it will print 8. Okay, why? Because we are using let I minus minus, right? It will decrement the value every time. So this is the script which is used to understand, okay, we can display the values from 10 to 1 using while loop. And here the main thing is let I minus minus. We use let I minus minus to decrement the value of I. I plus plus is used to increment the value by 1. I minus minus is used to decrement the value by 1. Okay. Let I minus minus will be the use of this one is decrement the value by 1. Okay. Yeah, like this, we have many examples. We will continue. We'll continue. If you have any questions, I'll share this document with you. Please go through. And these are the main things that we need to understand in the shell scripting. Okay. And let's start the other things from tomorrow. Like we'll start our DevOps tools. Okay, like Git. We'll start with Git, which is a popular source code management tool. We'll discuss the main things that we will be doing in the source code management tool called Git. And we'll be proceeding with our tools like Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, all those things. Any questions you have?
No.
Okay, then I'll share the recording and I'll share this document as well. Please practice. See, all the whatever the